at Concordia. We now know, Concordia, who the Taoiseach thinks runs the state. It's the central bank. It's not the government. 300,000 households on variable mortgage rates paying 2% more than the average Eurozone borrower. Now, you've moaned about this, you've groaned about it, but you've done nothing about it. Last month, Sinn Féin brought forward the Central Bank Mortgage Interest Rates Bill 2015. This would have given the Central Bank the power to cap mortgage interest rates at banks that have been bailed out by public money. Your government voted this down. So you actually have done something about it. You've favoured the banks again against the interests of those struggling householders. And you've disguised this compliance with your usual bluster and ramesh. Last week you said that 300,000 households paying variable mortgage rates above the rates at which the banks are borrowing is not a morally justifiable position. And that was before the draft EU Commission staff report acknowledged that interest rates here are high, while at the same time recommending a hands-on approach to the banks. And therein, Taoiseach, lies the reason for your refusal to act on this morally unjustifiable position. You always do what the elites tell you to do. Will you stand up for the rights of Irish citizens? No. Will you stand up against the big boys in Brussels? No. So here's a wee test for you. Cut out the bluster, cut out the convoluted, boring narrative, cut out the excuses, reject the morally unjustifiable recommendations of the EU Commission. Give the central bank the power to cap mortgage rates at banks that have been bailed out with public monies. And Taoiseach, stand up for Irish mortgage holders. Taoiseach.
Yeah, I will stand up for Irish mortgage holders. See, the problem on the far side is that between the two of you, you don't have a decent policy among you, so you have to revert then. You have to revert then to try to score points, off each other. Instead of putting forward your views on the economy and where it can lead to. And you, Deputy Adams, you're the person who set out to wreck the Irish economy with your prolificacy in the way that you put forward your propositions. Pay for nothing, have everything for nothing, and all will be well. All will be well. I'm very glad, Deputy, that after your engagement with the Greek Prime Minister, and I'm very happy to hear his comments last night in Brussels, they've now formally applied for assistance in respect of a new programme. This is the right thing to do given the circumstances that affect the ordinary people in Greece. And nobody in this country wants to go down that road, but that seems to be where you'd like to take us. Now, you mentioned, do what the elite tell you what to do. That's what you said. So tell me, Deputy Adams, about the Magdalens. Tell me about the institutional sexual abuse and what we've done here as a government to try to help the victims of a scandal that's gone on for so long. Tell me about the government making one of the first decisions that the Minister for Finance made was to reverse the cut in the minimum wage from the people who had it taken away from them by the previous administration. Tell me about the fact that the government were able to reduce somewhat the PRSI on the lower levels, and not increase income tax in 12, 13 or 14, and make a commitment to have 500,000 people removed from liability for USC in the October budget. Is that reneging upon the people who are most affected by economic difficulties caused by this outfit over here? Is that reneging? Is that kowtowing to your so-called elite? Because as far as I'm concerned, this government will stand up for all our people. And the priority that we've given is for those who are most vulnerable, who are most affected by the economic circumstances. And we will continue to prove that, Deputy Adams. And when the time comes and the people make their choice, as they will do, I believe that they will see the sense of having a government that brings progress, economic stability, jobs and opportunity, instead of living in some kind of utopian land which would wreck this country and with your kind of philosophy has caused untold damage to 11 million people in Greece at the moment.
Sorry, hold a second, Deputy Adams. Would you cut out the chorus, please? You're not impressing anybody. Well, the people at home aren't impressed either, I can assure you. I'm sure the people at the gallery aren't impressed either. Would you allow somebody to speak? We live in a democracy. Deputy Adams, just stay quiet for 1 minute. That's all you have. 1 minute, Deputy Adams.
Well, Taoiseach, Cloncordia, Taoiseach avoided the one question I put to him, which was give the central bank the power to cap mortgage interest rates at banks that have been bailed out with public money. He ignored that. He took us through his usual Ramesh and Bolskarak. Now, the fact is there are 300,000 households on variable mortgage interest, and they are being ripped off by the banks, and your government has stood by while the problem has escalated. And you do act in the interest of the elites. And your response to every issue that's of importance to ordinary citizens is that you're powerless to take action. Yet you reward, just last week, you reward former Taoiseach and ministers with big hikes in their pensions while you slash payments to lone parent families. Whose side are you on? I know what side Sinn Féin is on. We're on the side of citizens. You ran through laws to take money.
Please, thank you.
You ran through laws to take money from families who can least afford it, while former Irish Nationwide Chief Michael Fingleton still holds on to the 1 million of a bonus he promised to return to taxpayers.
Thank you.
There's no special legislation to deal with that, Taoiseach. Tá Gleamhain on the Dini Saber, agus Gleala, the Suriname Ella. And the bottom line, Taoiseach, is neither you nor your finance minister have the backbone to stand up to the banks and to take action to end the punitive, morally unjustifiable interest rates being inflicted on struggling households.
Thank you.
Tommy Crichnahan is concluding. Taoiseach, isn't it the case that your government has a consistent record of legislating in the interests of the wealthy and against the interests of everyone else? And is this the real reason why you refuse to take action against the banks and to stand up for mortgage holders? And please, Taoiseach, please, because I'm an optimist, give us an answer to the question. Will you give the central bank the power to cap these mortgage interest rates at banks that have been bailed out?
Thank you.
Please, Taoiseach, just say yes or no.
Taoiseach.
The answer to your question is yes, on one condition. They have to request it.
Sorry.
Minister for Finance has made it clear on more than one occasion in writing to the central bank, if a request comes from the central bank to legislate in this regard, the government have responded that they will do so. And that's because, Deputy, the central bank are independent in the way they do their business. We've already made it clear if they require legislation, it will be made available to them. So it's ask and you shall receive. Now, you mentioned about speaking about delivering only for the elite. That's what you consistently come with this nonsense, that the government forget about the ordinary citizens in our country who walk into the offices and the constituency clinics of every deputy on this side of the House as they do in respect of everybody else. And that's why, unlike you, the focus of government has been to create opportunity and jobs so that people can work, can earn money, can have a career, can contribute to their locality, their community and their lives. And that's why the measure of success is measurable in 104,000 new jobs created since late 2011. It's not enough, but 40,000 more this year, 40,000 next year, 40,000 in 2017 and 2018 will eliminate anybody's opportunity not to have a job if they want to work here. So everybody who wants to work will have the opportunity to do so.
Thank you.
And a well-managed economy, as you well know, Deputy, means that you don't have to, you can get away from all of the difficult decisions that our people made in the last number of years, and where we're now through that gap in a very different position than we were, with unemployment falling, interest rates below 2%, opportunities for investment, for exports stronger than ever before, our consumer sentiment the strongest in almost 10 years. It's not where we want to be yet, Deputy, but it's very much in the right direction. And your sort of nonsense of going around saying, don't pay for property tax, don't pay for water charges, don't pay for health. Do you believe, Deputy Adams, do you believe that people think that they live on fresh air? This country has never been afraid to accept a challenge, and we're measuring up to this one.
Mind your
and
own
heading
business.
very much
I'm
in the
the
right
chair
direction.
for the time being. Just sit back and stay quiet. It's not your question. Would you ever mind your own business? It was Deputy Adams' question. Deputy Fleming.